It's August, the middle of summer, and it's about 5 months after my last surgery. My good friend Tim Caife gave me a call last minute to see if I wanted to meet up with him in Saas for a bit of skiing, and I thought it might be a good opportunity to go see how my recovery is going and see if I can actually do some skiing. And yeah, it's been about 17 months since I've done any short turns or any long turns or any carving of that type of skiing, and I'll definitely be taking it easy for sure, but I'm super excited to go skiing, especially in a new resort that I've never been to. So if you're interested in the injury that I'm recovering from and the surgery that I've just had, then stick around to the end because I'll explain a little bit more about that. And if everything goes well, you'll see some skiing now. So let's go. Condition report up here. Tim, what do you think?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of cloud in the morning, which softened things up, and then it rained for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden the race team's fucked off, and here we are with perfect creamy spring snow.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I think the snow's pretty good for this time of year.
Amazing. And it's like, you know, it's mid-August. It's almost my birthday, mate.
Oh yeah, old man.
Old man.
So, last year wasn't the best for me. In September 2020, I tore my left hip's labrum while hiking a mountain in Japan. The same injury as the other hip 2 years before, but this time it was much worse. I couldn't even walk for 7 months without crutches. Due to COVID, Australia didn't let me back into the country. Our flight was cancelled 5 times, so we came back to Italy when the autumn COVID wave started, and they closed all the hospital down here, and I was waiting in line for surgery for 6 months, which meant the whole season on the couch and not able to walk. I had surgery at the end of February, and I now went skiing in August. Considering I couldn't walk 5 months ago and had lost 10 kilos of muscle, I'm pretty happy with the progress. Obviously, I wasn't pushing skiing, just cruising, but still super stoked to be out in the hill. So what happened to my hip? I had the same problem as the other hip. If you haven't seen the videos about it, I'll link them in the description below. But basically, there's been some speculation about a few things, so I wanted to show you exactly what happened. FAI is where the femur bone isn't perfectly symmetrical, and when there is flexion and rotations in the hip joint, the femur neck smashes into the hip socket, and this causes all the damage. A normal hip should look more like a mushroom, and when flexed, it should not hit the hip socket, unlike my hips. So they had to reshape my femur neck and pelvis, just like grinding a ski boot to make a ski boot fit better. Also, they tried to reattach my labrum, but when they went in for the surgery, they realized it had turned to bone, so they had to take the whole thing off pretty much. The labrum is pretty important for hip stability. If you're squeamish, look away now, as I'm going to show you a human cadaver with a labrum and without a labrum to show you the difference and what the labrum actually does to the hip joint. now both my hips have no labrum. 1 in 4 people have this problem, and it is very common in ice hockey players where they're bending and twisting a lot. If I had to think back to the activities that were deteriorating the hip, they would be the deep squats in the gym, and this is exactly where my bone was touching the other bone, and definitely in mogul skiing as well when I was in full flexion and internal rotation of the femur with deep flexion. So basically, if I didn't have this bone shape, I wouldn't have these problems at the moment. So people who don't have these bone shapes that I have probably won't have a problem like I have. Anyway, I had a great time skiing in August, and I'm looking forward to the winter. Let's see what happens. If this surgery doesn't work and I still have lots of pain through the winter, I guess the next step will be doing the Andy Murray special and get a resurfacing. What's going on?
You know, we're just hanging, mate. Hanging.
So what's the plan? What's the plan?
Oh, you know,
He's the guy.
you know, just
My plan is to put my mask on.
Responsible.
we do. We're just going to order a few drinks, mate. You know.
What up?
Whatever it is.
Tom! What do you say?
I say, hey, okay, baby.
Guernsey, what do you say?
Fuck yeah.
Guernsey, where's the wine? Are you going to the wine?
I have no idea. No idea.
A few minutes later.